But wait, before we start, okay, yeah, never mind.
What you wanted to say?
Anyway, this is the finals of the Deathmatch Open. It'll be Dictator versus Iberia. Both very esteemed treaty players. Dictator won the most recent Time to Treaty Chameleon tournament. The yeah, Zivearia top eight. Both very, very good players in my opinion. And we'll see a best of five between the two. In the north of the map, we have Zivearia playing as the Portuguese in the color orange. And in the south of the map, we have Dictator playing Russia in the teal color.
Exactly. This is an old version of this map. There's no water flag for Ziveria.
I think that'll be all right. I don't think either players have water shipments in their deck, to be honest.
Yeah, you might be right.
Dictator very on top of getting those Minutemen out ASAP, especially on a map like Malaysia where the distance between the town centers is very short. It is actually very important that you get them out as soon as possible.
Yeah, like every
Or
game.
very on top of your Minutemen. Yep.
I think in Deathmatch.
It's very important to look at the shipments here for Ziveria. I mean, excuse me, for Dictator when he's playing as the Russia, because I think he's gonna, he's gonna send the fast infantry card. He's gonna pop out a few musketeers, and then he's gonna send the fort building card, the card that allows Russian musketeers to build forts, and he's gonna split with them across the map, so he can pressure on like all sides,
Yeah, he have forts in his deck, the cards to build forts. You
There you
might
go,
be right.
National Redoubt. Yeah, he's gonna split off a few musketeers here, probably to the sides of his base, like maybe like right here, and yep, right there. And with that, he's going to make a very aggressive push on Ziveria and just keep him in his base. Prevent him from making villagers, economy, etc. Or just getting a good position at all.
Well,
A
organ
very
guns.
early, yeah, a very early 5 organ gun shipment from Ziveria coming out here. And a cheeky 2 petards on this trading post built by Dictator from Ziveria.
That's smart.
I think this 5 organ gun play was really smart. It's just gonna give so much time for Ziveria to like build up his defensive capabilities. Put up some more barracks so he can train Cassadors. Put up some towers, especially important.
What do you think? Which civilization is favored?
I would say Russia here, and we can see this. The Dictator has a full mass out, and he's just in a very aggressive position. He's much farther ahead on score. I mean, Russia start out ahead on score. They just have a higher base score. But, I do think the longer this game goes on, the more it favors Dictator, just because of how, aggressive and, aggressive Russia can play this.
And also, like, they train the villagers in 3 batches, so I think it's in the long run maybe also not so bad for Russia at all.
Yeah, exactly. I think Russia will be able to boom much faster than Portuguese will,
Yeah.
with 3 TC boom compared to 4 TC. In addition to that, both players have the option to build docks on the coast, try to get a ship economy if they'd like. So we can see Ziveria even, in fact, already out of food, and yeah, he's on a lower recalculated economic unit population. I don't know if he got both facts out, or he did, but there's 1 factory and 1 factory wagon, so that's yet to be built. He does have all 4 town centers up, and they should be queuing up bills shortly here. But it's just, you can see, like, even though Ziveria, he's more or less stabilized, not even. You can see these Bashkir ponies coming in, and from all sides, Dictator's
Siberia is
pushing.
also out of food.
Yeah, there's just no... I
Black
mean, we see the
Raiders.
Black Riders coming in, not bad. But, like, Ziveria doesn't have the ability to produce anything. He's just so low on food. The only thing he can produce is like organ guns and culverins and mortars, which aren't bad, but are they very? It just it weakens his composition to something like a big Cossack burst. And even should Zivearia stabilize, which is, as I was saying earlier, you know, it's going to be so difficult for him to push into these forts. They have so many hit points. They have such a high bombard attack, a high range, 32 range. They're just like god units. They're impossible to take down efficiently.
But Dictator's also running pretty low on food now.
He is low on food, but he does have a better economy with which to make more food with. In addition to that, he has 3,000 more coin, which is kind of irrelevant, but it gives him the ability to produce more artillery than Zivearia. And again, in addition to that, you know, he just has a better map presence, or he just is, you know. Yeah, we even see a 5 Musgrave on this mill over here, with that blockhouse stabilizing that side. Zivearia did get a short wall up here, but, you know, it's not establishing that much for him. Russia is just, you know, we see 3 Oprishniks coming out, and, you know, Dictator's immediately able to pressure that side.
This map is just so small. I mean, you don't have so much space to build your economy.
Yeah, we see Zivearia, he does have a pretty high, like, a lot of units out, but he's sitting at 100 out of 200 population, or 120. Dictator is sitting at full population. So even though it seems like, you know, Zivearia is in an okay spot, he is plugging away at these military unit production facilities with his mortars. He's actually not in that great of a spot. Dictator's just taking his time. He's going to push in when he wants to. It's on Dictator's terms. And yeah, you can see this fort just doing so much damage to these units.
Yeah.
As well as, you know, Dictator, he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 force artillery out. And yeah, Zivearia just realizing he can't take it back. And that'll end the first game.
Oh, Zivearia didn't make villages for so long.
It is very difficult. It's very difficult, especially against Russia, when you're getting pressured from all sides. Yeah. There's already so much macro to do in Deathmatch. You know, I can't really blame him if he's having trouble, like, making villagers there.
Dictator was even going for some fishing boats on his side. But also Zivearia had a dog up. Yeah, well, GG out. So Dictator hosted? Oh yeah, there you are. So yeah, what is the second map?
It'll be Cascade Range.
Okay. So Dictator's going for Germany and Zivearia seems like to going Brits.
Yep.
There we go, in game 2 of the Deathmatch finals.
And just like we saw in the last game with Dictator playing very aggressive, I think that's what we're going to see in this game as well.
Again, war wagons. Yay!
Yeah,
Wait, why not go like the Ulan?
I think we will see that to capture the longbowman mass. There is something to point out about this map. It does not have the Inca Andes technology, so war wagons will not train instantly. They will, in fact, train kind of slow, in fact. So that does benefit the British to an extent. That Dictator will have a harder time aggressing. But with that said, we have Dictator playing the German civilization in the teal color on the north side. And on the south side, we have Zivearia playing British as the orange color. Right
Indeed.
off the bat, Dictator going for these native posts, realizing they're more important than getting the town centers up early. Yeah, especially if he's going to be playing an aggressive strategy, he wants to get those additional units out, which allow him to overpop, native population, excuse me, native units do not cost population, so he could be 200 out of 200 in terms of his military population, and then have like an additional 15 Klamath riflemen, or 30 Klamath riflemen, or whatever it is. Goons coming out here pretty quickly for Zivearia. He sent riding school first and then fencing school.
And yeah, how you pointed out earlier, the Dictator's going pretty aggressive directly on the middle map with the front base here.
Yeah, and, especially since Zivearia hasn't started building his barracks until just now. Yeah, as British, you really need to send the, he's only got 80 population. As British, you really need to send the fast building house card as your first card. Every single game, there's no excuse. Every single game, you need it. You cannot compete without it. And he's only sitting at 120 max population. That's as many units as he can build, whereas Dictator, you can see, already maxed out, just straight up.
The house guy is going so late.
Ooh, the factory wagon coming forward here. We can see Zivearia nicely getting up these towers, but I don't know that it's enough. It would have been better if he had just had, like, his house is the proper card order. So the house card, his house is up. Ooh, yeah, these war wagons. Not the war wagons, the factory wagons.
Snipe, but
yeah, foundations there. Dictator getting very nice positioning, spreading all his units out, which gives him the best DP, damage per second. Zivearia trying to snipe one of the horse artillery with some hussars, and doesn't quite work out for him. The horse artillery is still alive, albeit at low HP. And it's gonna get taken down nicely now. The tower's coming up, which is very good. All things considered, this isn't great for Zivearia, but it's not as bad as it could be, considering, he didn't get that house card until his 4th shipment. With these towers coming up, it's just going to be such an immense help.
Dictator's all the time full pop, by the way. Did you notice?
I hadn't. In fact, Ziveria's out of food now, so...
Oh my god.
He's not going to be able to produce any more units. As long as, Dictator can work down these towers, like, yeah, we're not going to see any more units from the British player.
Dictator even making natives, because, yeah, then he has some overpop, which is pretty smart.
Yeah, Dictator has a very nice resource distribution. And the four mortars coming out right there. There you go. Even the 10 hush shipment.
Hussars going in from Dictator and killing all these longbows, and Ulans on the other side.
These towers sure are putting in work, but I'm afraid it's just not enough.
No, it will not be enough. For sure not. This is basically over. This mod is doing such a good work, and there we go. GG.
Yeah, there it is. And that'll be the second game for Dictator. He's leading 2-0 in this best of 5.
It's gonna be
We're
match
gonna move
point
on
for
to the next
Dictator.
game.
And next weekend we going to see the 2v2, or is it the weekend after?
Yep. Weekend, there will be a 2v2 tournament. So if you're watching the stream right now and you're a bit sad that you didn't get to participate in this week's tournament, you know, next week you won't be able to play Deathmatch, but we do have a 2v2 tournament going on. If you look on eso-community.net, you can sign up for the 2v2 tournament right now. I'm not sure exactly how the signups currently work, but there will be an information thread. At the very least, notify either me or Prince of Carthage, aka Savory Beef, on the forums of you and your teammate, you know. And next weekend, 15 GMT, there will be a 2v2 tournament.
Yeah.
And this is the map pool. Alaska, game 3. Zivearia picking up the Iroquois and Dictator picking up the Portuguese.
So yeah, match point for Dictator, and let's see, how is it bots versus Era? Who has the
This
civilization?
is a very good matchup for Iroquois. In all my practice games, I've never lost a Portuguese once. I've played a lot as Iroquois and never lost a Portuguese. So I think it's pretty safe to say that this is a matchup that favors Iroquois. So we're gonna, you know, on EP, Iroquois don't work quite as well because Tomahawks can't build, so you have to send the 11 AN shipment, which slows down your entire build order by like 15 to 20 seconds. But I hope we can see something good out of Zivearia here, and I'm expecting him to play well. In the north of the map, we have Dictator in the teal color playing as the Portuguese, and of course, Zivearia, the red, playing Iroquois.
Yeah, and we see
the map
again
is Alaska, and this is the finals of the ESOC Deathmatch Open, and it is currently 2-0 up for Dictator.
Indeed, and we see again the Tomahawks coming from Zivearia. He did this in the game before.
Yep, Zivearia utilizing the Iroquois big button shipments to just barrel 30 Tomahawks towards Dictator's base. And he's going to send 11 Aena and a battlefield construction card and be able to build 4 barracks, 3 artillery foundries, and some stables as well, should he choose.
But Dictator is doing a good job at defending this first Tomahawks here.
Yeah, I'd say it's about an even trade, but the important part is that a Dictator isn't delaying his build by any bit. None of his villagers died, none of them got caught out. He's getting his TCs up. He's in an okay position, so pretty much this went in Dictator's favor.
Looks not so aggressive from Zivearia. He making a lot of buildings in his base, I mean in front of his base.
Yeah, even throwing up these walls, it seems like he's not trying to play the most aggressive, which, you know, I'm a little disappointed to see that, because the longer the game goes on, the more it's going to favor Portuguese, especially on a water map like Alaska, where Portuguese have the option to, you know, invest their wood into the sea. Iroquois needs to put that wood into their units, so they're not going to have a lot of additional wood with which to, you know, boom on the sea.
Yeah.
But I'd prefer to see Zivearia play more aggressive, and hopefully that's what we see going forward. It is still early in the match, you know, it's only 2 minutes and 18 seconds. Dictator has a lot of culverins out here, so Zivearia really needs to take care to do well with his light cannons. So
Yeah,
Hussar is reinforcing Dictator's mass. And this is where, you know, Force Prowlers are just not that good. Like, they are a very strong skirmisher unit, but you really need Tomahawks, or you really need some sort of anti-cavalry to deal with Hussar flanks. Dictator electing to go back here and, you know, set up his artillery. He's got 10 organ guns out right now. Well, yep, 10 organ guns.
And two heavy cannons. And they're coming also culverins. And he have 2 mortars.
Yeah, exactly. I really want to see more light cannons come out of Zivearia. That's like Iroquois' best attribute, is that they get so many light cannons. It's very hard to deal with. But now that it's, you know, we're going into the later stages of this deathmatch game, you know, Dictator's just better set up to deal with those light cannons, and, you know, the initial shock a 30 cannon rush might have had is, you know, the window for that is just not there anymore.
Oh, Zivearia running out of coin.
Yeah. There's just not enough light cannon out to accomplish anything, you know. He has Forest Prowlers, but Castors, Portuguese Castors go even with that, so it's not like Dictator is worried about these Forest Prowlers, you know. Iroquois' call sign is those light cannons and their mantlets, and getting at those tomahawks and making a quick rush, and Zivearia didn't really do that this game. He did get, like, you know, he still has 13 light cannons out, but he has 0 coin, and he's not producing any tomahawks whatsoever. So he's underpopped, he's at 150, Dictator's at full population. He already has his, like, culverins control grouped and everything. He's microing them. Dictator's just pretty much completely economically set up. Like, he's completely focusing on the fight. He's almost max population. He's actually out of coin right now, so they're both out of some resource. But Dictator's currently leading in military population by, for one, 40 population, but he also has these 32 P out, which widens that gap even more.
Dictator needs to bring his artillery. It's a little bit idle in the back, but
yeah, it is a little bit idle, but it's not the biggest deal because you know, Dictator's in such a commanding position right now.
Yeah, he's in a really good spot. So, boss are low on resources, so they don't do so much at the moment.
Yeah, there was a nice pickup there from Dictator, killing off 2 light cannons, but Zivearia also killing that culverin. Still a good trade for Dictator though, because 2 light cannons costs 200 wood, 600 coin, whereas 1 culverin costs 100 wood, 400 coin. But that's just, you know, that's just the way the civilization rolls. It wasn't exactly Zivearia's fault that he lost 2 culverin, 2 light cannons there. And yeah, Dictator sitting on a better recalculated economic population, excuse me. And you know, Iroquois is forced to have these 25 villagers on the fire pit, in a way. So the recalculated economic unit population is, instead of 55 for Zivearia, it's more like 30, you know? So Dictator has twice the economy, and yeah, you know, that's just how the cookie crumbles. That'll be game.
Yeah, so, and Dictator won this best of 5.
Yep, Dictator has
3 to
won the
0.
finals of the ESOC Deathmatch Open, and he will take home $80. Zivearia will take home 40. And that's the conclusion of the third event of the ESOC Grand Tour Season 1. As I mentioned earlier, next week's event is a 2v2 tournament, so if you have a partner, go ahead and sign up. The information is on eso-community.net. Any last thoughts, Queen?
No, I have not much to say to this.
Yeah, no thoughts. Deathmatch does not require much brain power.
Yeah,
But
so
I just, I want to say congratulations to Dictator. He played very well, and I played that as well, and made it to the final.